Hello lovely people and welcome back to my channel. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and the idea that I had behind it is I just wanted to sit down and show you all the things that I have purchased in the first half of the year, so more or less until July, maybe including the first week of July, because I do still have some things coming in. I'm still planning a purchase in July in the end of the month, so this is definitely not a haul that would include the whole month of July, but it's totally irrelevant. I just wanted to show you what I bought in this year so far, and I will exclude things like repurchases, like Fix Plus or like eyeshadow base or something that's not super interesting. I will only talk about the products that I have purchased that are new to my collection and that I would really like to mention to you and tell you how I feel about them. Alright, let's get started. So the first brand I want to talk about will be ColourPop, because as usual I bought a bunch of eyeshadow from them, and the reason I have mostly focused on eyeshadow is not because I don't like their lipsticks. I actually really like their bullet lipsticks, but I have really slowed down on buying lipstick this year. I have a lot of lipsticks. I try to be mindful of my lipstick and the fact that it is a product that eventually will expire, so I'm trying to really buy lipsticks that are only going to be very special to my collection or that I really want to have. So I have to say, in comparison to 2 years ago, my lipstick purchases have slowed down considerably. That is probably the category where I have bought significantly less this year and last year compared to the 2 years before that. The 2 years before that I went bonkers. But this year I've really slowed down. I don't buy liquid lipsticks anymore because I just don't use them. They're not my thing. I found out liquid lipstick and I are just not meant to be. And I've come to the conclusion that I actually not only enjoy bullet lipsticks, but specifically bullet lipsticks with a cream formula. So I think from now on, creams and like maybe comfort mattes are going to be what I buy. I'm not even going to bother with matte lipsticks at all. I just truly enjoy cream lipsticks. Let's get off this tangent though and talk about the ColourPop products that I bought this year. The first product that I bought from them is the Good Sport palette, which I bought in the very beginning of the year because I watched so many people talk about this eyeshadow palette in their ranking of favorite eyeshadow palettes from last year. I already did a Project 5 wears with this palette, and I did that in collab with my good friend Mia, so you can enjoy our 10 looks that we did with this palette. I'm going to link the video up here in the cards for you. And what can I say about this eyeshadow palette rather than I use it surprisingly little. Let me show you the colors a little bit more up close so that you can see them better. I don't really know what it is about this eyeshadow palette. If I look at it, I do like the color story. I think the eyeshadows there are a lot of really special colors here. I like the combination of colors. There's really truly nothing that I can say about this eyeshadow palette that is negative. And yet, I don't reach for it a lot. I don't know why. Maybe I don't see it, or something about it doesn't inspire me. I really don't know what it is. I like it, and at the same time, I never quite use it. It's a paradox that I cannot explain. Somewhat later in the year, the Just My Luck palette was released. This is one of the little 9-pan monochromatic palettes from ColourPop. They are truly awesome. The only one I have is the green one because, as you know, I'm a green eyeshadow lover. I didn't really feel like any of the other eyeshadow palettes really spoke to me, or they would be like a monochromatic color story that I would really enjoy using. This is how she looks like, and I truly really enjoy this color story because aside from the cool toned greens, you have also warm toned greens. You have like a little khaki green over here, like sort of like a green with a lot of brown to it. I really enjoy that they have put so many different tones of green in the same eyeshadow palette. I do enjoy the quality of these eyeshadows. I just truly enjoy the pressed formula of ColourPop, and I have to say some of the colors in this palette, well, not some of the colors, one color in particular in this palette is just truly stunning. I'm not going to swatch too many things for you, but just the things that I think are absolutely stunning, and I just cannot not swatch for you. Look at this color. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? It is one of the most impactful colors I have ever put on my lid in terms of like a lime neon yellow tinged green. The last product that I purchased from ColourPop is one of their Super Shock eyeshadows. This one is in the shade Puppuccino, or I don't know how it's pronounced. It's sort of like a bronzy coppery goodness. It looks like this. I do really enjoy buying the Super Shock shadows in more neutral colors because I think the neutral Super Shock eyeshadows is where ColourPop really stands out, because I think they make truly special eyeshadows with like super glittery formulas or like very interesting like undertones to them. For some reason I'm never really drawn to the super colorful Super Shock eyeshadows, but I really like the neutrals. The next brand that I purchased from, and one that I purchased from for the first time ever, is Nabla. And you already know that I have the Soul Blooming palette from Nabla because I did a Project 5 wears with it, coincidentally again with my good friend Mia here on YouTube, so I'm going to link that video up in the cards for you as well. But this is how she looks like, and I have to say I am really happy with my choice of a palette. Of all the eyeshadow palettes that Nabla has released so far, this really remains the most unique one in terms of a color story, and the most unique one for my collection personally. I really enjoy this eyeshadow palette. I actually took it traveling with me to Sofia recently, and I think it's a beautiful spring-summer palette because the colors are so happy, and I really like that there is such a variety of like warm tones. You have the corals, you have a bit of like even cool tone purples. The next thing that I have from them is something that I actually haven't shown you at all. When I was on the website, I wanted to pick some of their single eyeshadows as well, because a lot of people have been saying that the single eyeshadows are where Nabla really excels, and they are not exactly the same formula as the one in their eyeshadow palette. So I felt compelled to order a couple of their singles as well. I did mention this briefly also in my Little Cosmetics video recently, that I have been going about purchasing single eyeshadows a little bit differently this year compared to what I've been doing so far. So far I've just been buying like randomly whatever attracts my eye, and now I'm really trying to select colors that make some sort of a cohesive color story together and that I can use together. Because if I just have like one eyeshadow here and I have to pull out 5 others from somewhere else, it isn't likely I'm going to use it very often. So I went on the website and I tried to pick eyeshadows that are somewhat unique to my collection, but at the same time they make sense together, and this is the eyeshadow palette that I came up with. It is basically centered around blue and purple. These are the two mattes. I'm not sure they're going to swatch very well because they are mattes. And then we have one here which has sort of like a satin shimmer formula to it. It is a duochrome eyeshadow with a slate blue base and a bit of like a gold duochrome. It's not the most impactful eyeshadow that Nabla has in their collection, but it is a very special and unique shade. The two mattes are absolutely gorgeous, especially the dark indigo blue is sublime. I love this eyeshadow. It is so beautiful for a liner, to deepen your crease, to use as a base for other shades is absolutely beautiful. And I spilled the mattes all over my white Little Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, which is really stupid. For consistency, let's swatch the other 3 eyeshadows that I have from Nabla, which are all from their special super glittery formula, which I can't remember the name of. I want to say they're called the Galaxy eyeshadows, but don't quote me on it. So this is a beautiful blue with like a pink sheen to it. This one is a beautiful grayish, like dark base with a lot of pink and purple sparkle to it, and this is the super famous Alchemy, which I can see why people are so crazy about. So these 3 are absolutely beautiful. And the final product that I bought from Nabla is actually one of their highlighters because I was really curious to try their formula. The one that I have is in the shade Obsessed, and it is a beautiful copper pink duochrome. The formula of Nabla is very smooth, so if you're someone who really doesn't enjoy glittery highlighters but wants something smooth on their face, then you're really going to like the Nabla formula. This one is stunning. It is exactly what I wanted, and it is actually quite unique to my collection because everything else I have is much darker in tone, much lighter in tone, and this one has somewhat darker tones and it almost moonlights also as a blush topper. Next product I wanted to show you is the Melt Smoke Sessions palette. This is the first product that I have ever bought from Melt, and I'm really happy that they're now stocking on Beauty Bay because I don't think I would have actually splurged to purchase them from the website, have them shipped here, and have to pay customs and blah. So I'm actually really happy that Beauty Bay stocked them because I am so in love with this eyeshadow palette. This is a green eyeshadow lover. Like, it's what dreams are made of for a green eyeshadow lover, because you have the warm toned greens on this side and you have the cool toned greens on this side, and the metallics especially are so beautiful. Surprisingly, I was very surprised about it as well. I am actually digging the warmer greens more than I'm digging the cooler greens, and I think the reason for that is because I have a lot of cool greens, but I don't have that many like super stunning warm toned greens. And especially this one here, it's not even the green, it's a gold, but this is the most gorgeous gold. Nothing else really compares to this gold. I don't know, there's something about the undertone and the impact of this shadow that just has my heart swooning. It is so gorgeous. I love it. I can't really say that I am super crazy about the formula of the mattes. They are fine, but they're a little bit dry and they're not my favorite matte formula. I'm sure that people who have these stacks would probably confirm that these stacks have a better formula in terms of like matte eyeshadows. So the matte eyeshadows in this palette are meh, as far as I'm concerned. They're okay, don't get me wrong, they're not bad quality mattes, they're just not my favorite matte formula, but they're fine and they work with the rest of the shades, and I love this eyeshadow palette. I love this. This is definitely going to be in a Project 5 wears soon. Okay, next up I wanted to mention an eyeshadow palette that I have very recently done a demo and review of, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it. Check out the video that I'm going to link up here for you. This is my custom-made Little Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. Little Cosmetics is a small European-based indie brand. They're based in Berlin, Germany, and I bought a bunch of their single eyeshadows. Like I said, I tried to make like a cohesive color story out of the eyeshadows that I bought. I fucking love these eyeshadows. They're so beautiful. The mattes are... they're not my favorite formula of mattes, but I can work with them. They're definitely the type of mattes that you have to lay down, like pack, and then blend out. And I have a somewhat different techniques when I build my eyeshadows. I always go from like the lightest color and then I deepen up, and I feel like this doesn't quite work with these eyeshadows. You have to just start with the deep color and then maybe blend in the lighter colors. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. The metallics are beautiful. The metallics are a very interesting formula because they're not the most punchy, foiled, glittery metallics, but they're very smooth. And they're the type of metallics that you can definitely blend through your crease. So if you're someone who enjoys one and done looks and you just want to have metallics for that, I think the Little formula will be something you're going to enjoy quite a bit. Now I just wanted to quickly show you the two foundations that I also recently did a video on. These are two Hourglass foundations. One is the Hourglass Stick Foundation, the Vanish Stick, and the other one is the Vanish Seamless Liquid. Again, I'm going to refer you to my video if you want to hear my thoughts in more detail about this, but I'm going to say this, I like these foundations quite a bit, and especially I enjoy the liquid foundation. Be warned, you have to use very little from this foundation, and trust me, less than you thought you should, but I do really think that once you find out how to use this foundation and you have somewhat oilier skin, like normal to oily skin, I think you're really going to like this. I'm not quite sure about people with dry skin, but maybe if you use it with a very light hand and a hydrating moisturizer before that, maybe you're going to enjoy this formula as well. The stick foundation, on the other hand, I find a little bit inconsistent on my personal skin, so it is not my favorite foundation, but it is an interesting concept and I can make this foundation work for me, so I am happy to have tried it. Finally, hallelujah, I have found a concealer that works for my super dry under eye area. This is the Clarins Instant Concealer. It looks like this, it comes in this little squeezy tube. I have mine in the shade 01, which I think is the lightest version. If you guys didn't know it, the only concealer that I've been using consistently for the past like 3 or 4 years is the Salmon Skin Food, what is this called again? Skin Food Salmon Dark Circle Concealer Cream. It looks like this. It is a pot concealer and it has this sort of like salmon peach color to it. It is a very nice concealer. It is very hydrating and very creamy, which is why I like it, because pretty much everything else I have tried always really makes my under eyes extremely dry. And now I have finally found a concealer with a slightly different tone to it. So this one is much lighter in tone compared to the Salmon Skin Concealer. So this is really something that brightens my under eyes instead of just correcting for darkness. Another interesting brand and product that I purchased this year for the first time is from the brand Suqqu. Suqqu is a Japanese brand and I'm totally butchering their name. I really can't roll my tongue to say it for some reason, to save my life. But I've been hearing about this brand so many times by Melissa Gold mainly. I know Lisa Eldridge talks about Suqqu as well, but I have been mostly enabled by Melissa to try this brand, and because as of recently we can purchase Pat McGrath products from Selfridges, and if you make an account and you pay, I want to say 10 euros, they ship to you for free, like for a full year. So I highly recommend to all of you European people who are interested in high-end luxury brands like Pat McGrath, Suqqu, Charlotte Tilbury, that kind of thing. They have a lot of brands. Once again, going off a tangent, I purchased this liquid shimmer blush from them, which is in the number 3. It is a gorgeous orange color. I searched high and low in Melissa's channel to find a review of this type of product because I had never tried liquid blushes before, and then I realized that Suqqu just released this in the end of May, beginning of June, so they're brand new and even Melissa hasn't tried them. I was very intrigued to try this because I've recently been really getting into something that I never thought I would get into, which is like stick cream and liquid products for the face. I don't fucking know what's up with me. I really enjoy these type of products now, maybe because I'm getting old and they like look more youthful on me, I'm not sure. But I absolutely love this blush. I love it. It is such a gorgeous, beautiful shade of like coral orange. So this is how it looks like when you spritz it out, and the way I like to apply it, by the way, the most, I've tried with my fingers, I've tried with a sponge, and the way I like it the most is if I grab one of those really fluffy brushes and I kind of stipple it on my brush, and then I stipple it on my face and blend it out. This is how I like it the most. When I blend out the color, it shears out to this beautiful, gorgeous, nice formula which dries down and doesn't really move from your face, but it is also like sort of like glowy and dewy, and it looks delicious on the skin. This must be one of my favorite products that I have purchased this year, and if you are into like more luxury type of makeup and you want to try something from Suqqu, I highly recommend these. Unfortunately, the other two colors that were available were very pink for me. I prefer like more orangey, bronzy, deep reddish, like brownish type of colors, and they didn't really have those. They only had like two pinks and two colors that were super beautiful, but unfortunately were limited edition and discontinued. So I'm going to stalk the website to see whether they come up with more colors of this, because I love it and I would really like to try more colors from it, or if they release like a bronzer with this formula, it would be awesome as well. This was a very surprising purchase from me, because when the Tutti Frutti collection was released in Europe, like a full 1.5 years or something after it was released everywhere else, I sort of wanted to boycott Too Faced and not even look at this collection, even though I was very intrigued by it initially. However, in the end, I was in Douglas, which is like our version of Sephora, but much lamer. Right at the cashier, right when I was about to, you know, pay for shit and leave, I spotted this guy. And, well, they have another one as well, but I spotted this guy in particular, and I swatched it, and then I didn't buy it on the day that I swatched it, but I continued thinking about it, and I know that when I think about a product for a week and it doesn't like leave my mind, I probably will buy it. So this is one of their stick highlighters, and I just really like the color of these guys. It's a beautiful like copper bronzy base loaded with pink glitter. If you don't like glitter, you might not like this because it's quite glittery, but I really love it. And you apply it like straight from the stick onto your face, and it works beautifully together with the Suqqu blush. So I love these two together. Let's talk about all the Pat McGrath products that I bought this year. I bought these at different times, but essentially they're all from Pat McGrath, so I figured I will just show them to you together. There's only one that I'm missing, by the way, and that is a product that I purchased together with this guy. So I purchased a duo of the Perma Precision Liquid Liner together with the Fetish Eyes Mascara from Pat McGrath. I'm going to put a picture of it somewhere on the side so you can see it. I did really enjoy the mascara. It's a really solid, beautiful mascara. This liquid liner though, it's a fine liquid liner, but I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because it's a felt tip. I prefer my liquid liners in like a pan formula like this to be with the little thin brush and not the felt tips. It is my only black liquid liner at the moment, but I wouldn't repurchase it. So I'm hoping Pat releases something with like a brush tip, because I would really like to try this. The next products that I bought from her are her single eyeshadows, and I bought mine in a trio. I think the trio was called Obsessive Opulence, and the colors that I bought are this one here, which is called Pale Fire. Pale Fire is gorgeous, and it is also in her La Vie and Rose palette, which I am contemplating getting. Next one is the color Lapis Luxury. Lapis Luxury is a gorgeous color as well. It is a beautiful sort of mid-tone blue. They're all in a metallic formula, by the way. This one was in her discontinued Decadence palette. And the last color is the only new color to her lineup. This is the color Synthetica, which is one of the most gorgeous, like, purple colors that you have ever seen. Let me swatch this one for you because it is so stunning. Look at this purple. Look at it. It is so pretty. This is the kind of purple that you can put on your lids and just bask in purple glory. I also picked up 2 of Pat McGrath's glosses. Mine are in the shade Flash 6, which is a gorgeous coppery red brown color, which looks like this. Let me quickly swatch it for you. This is the shade Flash 6. And the other color that I have from her is the shade Heavy Petal. Heavy Petal is a beautiful warm pink shade, which looks like this. I really love Pat's lip gloss formula. I think this is probably one of my favorite lip gloss formulas ever, because it has some pigment to it, but at the same time it's very comfortable, it's not sticky. I really like her lip glosses. I'm not going to buy like a bunch more because lip gloss is not a product that I use on the regular, but I really love having these 2 colors because I have something that's a little bit more pink toned and something that's a little bit more like brown red toned. And the last product that I bought from Pat McGrath is one of her very new Blitz Trance lipsticks. So these are the lipsticks that have the somewhat glittery formula to them, but unlike the previous release, these have a much more smooth formula, and the glitter is much more like a shimmer infused with the actual color and not so much a chunkier glitter. The color that I have is the color Blood Rush. This is a beautiful red with golden shimmer to it. It is an extremely comfortable lipstick. I really like it. I was initially thinking of maybe ordering one of the more neutral lipsticks, and there is a color in like the more neutral part of the lineup that I really like. But I decided to get a red because I thought, girl, who are you kidding? You wear reds much more often than you wear neutral colors. So I hear my son complaining downstairs, which means this is my cue for wrapping up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was enjoyable for you. I know it was a little bit long and rambly, but I do really like watching haul videos from other people to see what they bought, why they liked it, stuff like that. Anyway, let me know if you have any of these products and what are your thoughts on them. If you like my content, as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!